welcome to episode 2 of Versus 3, the save where myself, the Custard Prophet, and that trucking football manager face off against one another in a one-season challenge, and we are with FC Twente. If you haven't done it already, you should have already seen the episode 1s from myself and the other two guys, and also the introduction video. All of those links are below. Please do go check them out. But we also have an updates video that the Custard Prophet brought out. The link is there for that too. So if you don't know what happened already, go watch that at the very least. You watched it? Good. Okay. So, it's been interesting times for me. Interesting times indeed. As you can see, manager performances at A+, and I'll get into why in a minute. We are sat in 5th after 9 games. We were, of course, back for the 10th game, which today is against PEC Zwolle. I will go into the fixtures in a minute, but there's been some interesting manoeuvres, or movements, should we say, on the financial front. If you remember, I was spending 98 grand. Well, I was spending 96 grand. It's gone up a bit. And I decided to have a word with the board because obviously I think we had like 60 odd grand, whatever it was. I was miles over budget anyway in terms of the wages. But in terms of what the club did, I told you before that they did the funds to sign a player. That was how we managed to sign Verdant. Hang on, did I just say his name correctly? That's terrible, isn't it? Wayne Dant. Anyway, that's how we signed him, was the ball coming out. Well, I asked for an improvement on the wage budget. I also asked for an improvement on the transfer budget, which didn't happen. But I got a ridiculous wage budget now. I've got 190,000, call it 191,000 per week. That's like an extra 100,000 per week of what I already had. The problem was, whilst I did get it just before the end of the transfer window, they wouldn't let me adjust the budget. They will now, so it does mean that I can still have money available and, get myself a 3 or 4 million on the transfer budget. But the only downside is obviously windows shut and we're not going to be able to do anything to the next transfer window. So, but apparently, this club do want to spend money. Now, one thing I wanted to look at as well, as you notice, I've been increasing the wage budget, improving the data facilities, and we're now improving the youth facilities. I don't know why I'm bothering for a single season challenge, but it was interesting. Anyway, if we go to me, let's have a look at my manager. I didn't do this in the first episode. I went back and double-checked what Custard Prophet had said with the rules, because I did wonder after seeing their manager builds whether or not I didn't follow the rules correctly. But in terms of what they suggested, I did. As you can see, I focused all my points. I put everything over onto the mental and basically improved my discipline, management, and motivating. I've only got a determination of 9, and it actually says here, this affects how adept the individual is at getting their own way with the board. A less determined person is more likely to have their request turned down. Well, I've done better in terms of my interaction with the board than I have with any other save I've had so far in FM20. So, FM20 with FC 20. So, determination of 9 apparently did it. If I'd have put 20 in there, maybe I would have got an even bigger transfer budget too. But nevertheless, that's my build. I'm all about the tactical. Normally when I build, the perfect manager, I put 20 in attacking, stuff like that. But I've gone for the tactical approach because, well, somebody needs to be able to train the team in that. So from there, we're going to move on to the Oh, you know what? Before we go on to the tactics, I'm just going to show you the transfers. Whilst I had the extra budget, I did manage a little panic buy. And that is this guy. No, it isn't. He's and you know what? I actually told the youth development manager to stop buying players, and he still managed to sign a couple, which is mildly frustrating. This guy's not actually half too bad, to be fair. But there was me. I brought in another defender, and it was a panic buy. I liked his mentals. 39-year-old Mexican Carlos Salcido. Got plenty of international experience and all the rest of it. As you can see, he's not kicked a ball for us yet. It was a panic buy. I was panicking. And part of it was because of, where are we? Wayne Dant, who is still unhappy about the fact that I have failed to strengthen the squad, apparently. Fortunately, it's not affecting his performances too heavily, but if we actually go Now, into the tactics, there have been some changes from where we started out. We're obviously keeping the same formation. You'll notice in the update video that Custard Prophet did for everybody from the first game, he mentioned the fact that I was using fullbacks. Well, I've changed that now to wingbacks. Part of it being a problem that I was struggling to get performances out of my fullbacks, and I was struggling to get performances out of my wingers. Bearing in mind I wasn't overlapping them like I am now. But ever since I've put Verdonk on wing-back attack, he's been putting in some decent performances, as you can see. I mean, I think Sparta Rotterdam was the last game we played as a fullback, and as you can see, he was a 6.5. But it was all hit and miss with him. Just the wide players in general. Centre midfield, not so bad. That being said, I was originally playing a Mazzala in there. I've stopped that. I've now got a box-to-box midfielder in there instead. Waydant was on support, but he's now on attack. I've got one of the inside forwards on support instead of attack now. And yeah, so we've got overlapping fullbacks with the wide players. And I have also introduced some individual stuff. Oh, the other thing is 2 central defenders. One, it was a stopper cover deal, but now it's not. I just got them straight defenders, and that seems to be working a bit better. And Irizos, who of course is my number one goalkeeper, he, even though I bought him as a backup, he's number one. He's gone from being a sweeper keeper just to being a straight goalkeeper, and all of these little things have helped. But in terms of the wide players, I have them closing down a lot more, and also shooting more often. I've introduced that, even though Zeknini, he's not the best shooter in the world, if you know what I mean. His finishing's 10 and his long shot's 11, but he does score goals. So, comparatively speaking, none of them are like a 30-goal a season player. Cantala Piedra, again, did the same for him, and also have him shoot more often too, which is great. And Waydant, I don't think I changed much with his. No, I didn't. Just, again, shoot more often, because the man can take a shot, as we can see from here. Finishing 14, his long shots isn't great at 9, but he shouldn't really be in a position to do long shots. In terms of the midfield, however, Espinoza, who has been particularly fantastic. Let's have a look. As you can see, 7.57 average rating over 9 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. Minor improvements here and there, but he's been playing solidly. We have him as an advanced playmaker on attack, but I also have the additional instruction for him to get further forward. He's already dribbling more, so that's fantastic. Anyway, but yeah, I've got him to actually get further forward, because again, we were struggling to score goals. We were struggling to create goals, and that's really why I made a lot of these changes. Abujania, again, changed into a box-to-box midfielder. I've included dribble more for him because he's got a dribbling of 14, and it works quite well. And I've also got him shooting more often, which, again, has helped because, as you can see, I think we can see it from there. 1 second. Cancel. All right. So we can see he's managed 2 goals in 9 games himself, an average rating of 7.19. So again, that's helping, because I'm not necessarily going to be relying on my striker or my inside forwards to score goals. I kind of need everybody capable of scoring goals, Even my defenders. Bregerie, of course, we brought in on a free. He's been pretty solid. He's managed 9 starts out of 9 games and still managed a goal. 6.98 average rating. He's having a little bit of a decline physically, but, he has now turned 33. And that's really about it. Truby was another one I was struggling to get performances out of him, but he has picked up since I've been playing him as a wing back on support. 6.8, 7.5. I think my head's in the way of some of this, but his form has been pretty decent. So yeah, the team's playing well. We're finally getting a bit of tactical familiarity. As you can see, Abujani is struggling a wee tiny bit with the width and the his position, role and duty, but that's only because it changed from being a Mazzala, so he's now catching up. But most of the players are quite tactically adept, or at least tactically familiar. Like I say, Waydant, quite unhappy, but that is what it is. There's not really a lot I can do about that at the moment. So yep, that's the changes in terms of the tactics. Okay, so if we take a look at our schedule, as you know, first game of the season was the 0-0 draw with RKC. Straight after that, we managed a lovely 3-0 win over Willem 2. Cantella Piedra, Bregerie and Espinosa. Bregerie. Anyway, all these fellas managed goals, so you can say it was a pretty solid performance. But after that, wasn't great. We lost 1-0 to Fortuna Sittard, and then we drew with Utrecht 1-1, and we drew with Sparta 1-1. Utrecht, of course, doing, I think, quite well. They're fourth in the division at the moment, but certainly one of the stronger teams. Sparta, on the other hand, I think I should have done better. They're 13th currently in the division, and in fact, they only just came up last season like we did anyway, but they got one over on us with a 1-1, but that was about the point that I changed the tactics, coming up against VVV Venlo. We beat them 2-1. Very, very happy with that result, as you can see. Verdonk even had a good game. Central defenders aren't always 100% reliable, but usually by the second half they pick up, but wasn't to be in this game, apparently. Zeknini. He is, when he plays well, he plays really well. But he spends a lot of time not present in the game. As you can see, the 1-1 with Sparta Rotterdam, and then the 2-1 over Venlo, he managed 6.5 in each. And then the last 3 games, he stormed it, an 8.3, a 9.0. And then, well, I said last 3 games, and then last game, the Alkmaar game, 6.4. So I wish he was more reliable. One thing I did mean to mention, actually, was I wanted to look at the goals. As I said to you before, I don't believe, unfortunately, our front players are capable of scoring a lot of goals. But as it is, all 3 of them, which is 2 inside forwards and a striker, have all managed 3 goals each. And central striker Wayne Dant has managed 3 assists, with the other guys managing 2 assists each. But as I say, Espinosa and Abujania are also keeping up there with the goals and the assists as well. So, like I say, none of them's going to get 30 goals a season, but the fact that we've got that many people capable of scoring goals is, well, it's a lifesaver, basically. Otherwise, it was just going to be a long and hard and miserable season. So, yeah. So, that was the Venlo game. Here in Wien, we managed to beat them at home 3-2. That was an interesting game. They went 1-0 up. We brought it back to 2-2. We went 2-1 up. We went 3-1 up, and then they brought one back in the 66th minute, and that was that. As you can see, we were pretty dominant most of the possession, but ton of shots. Absolute ton of shots, comparatively speaking. But they played well. They kept us out to a degree. But like I say, 3-2. Very, very pleased with that. 3 points. Busquets, of course, getting the man of the match. And then we had FC Emmen away. Again, these are teams really we should be beating, not being funny. Venlo, I think, are close to being bottom, if we look at the division. Yeah, they're second bottom. Emmen, who we just beat as well, they're in the bottom group. And here in Wien, they're sort of similar level to us. I think they were sort of mid-table. Yeah, well, 7th. They're up to 7th, as you can see. They've lost a few, but they lost to us, which is fantastic. But like I say, Emmen and Venlo were supposed to be beaten anyway. And today is PEC Zwolle. PEC Zwolle, they're down in 12th, so they are below us. They got a negative goal difference. So hopefully we're in with a shout against them. If we actually have a look at the schedule. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about the AZ Alkmaar result. That was a nice one, 2-1 over AZ. Again, we went 2-0 up, conceded a goal in the 51st minute there. We weren't as good as they were, but we managed to squeeze that one out, and I was very happy with that. They didn't play badly at all. I mean, admittedly, their strikers weren't fantastic, but then neither was Zeknini. He came off for Lang, who produced an equally rubbish performance, but overall, we came away with the spoils, even though we had the same number of on-target shots. We obviously had less shots and only just about more, 1% more of the possession. But we won it. It's 3 points. So, very, very happy with that. Like I say, PEC Zwolle are... Let's have a look at the division. Yeah, they're in 12th. Hopeful to beat them. AZ, of course, are only in 6th, just below us. So, again, to get a result against them was actually pretty good. So, very happy with that too. So, it's still... We don't have We do. We have Javi Espinosa in joint first place with a number of Man of the Match awards, but in terms of people's stats, we haven't got any of the goal scorers, we haven't got any of the average rating, we haven't got any of the assists either, and we're probably not going to have them this season. But I do feel good about how well we've done so far. Just played 9, won 5, drawn 3, and only lost 1, which of course was the game against Fortuna Sittard. So anyway, without further ado, we're off to the match. Alrighty, it is time for Twente at home to Zwolle. In goal, it's Arizos, left back back four of Verdonk, Bayern, Bregerie and Trupe, defensive midfield Busquets, central midfield Espinosa and Abojania, left wing Zeknini, right wing Cantella Piedra, and up front it's Wayne Dant. Wayne Dant has definitely been keeping Bergerine out the side. He's still only managed one start and one sub appearance. He hasn't been amazing. He's on a bit of a decline. Maybe through lack of games, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, he's there, sat on the bench just in case we need him. Off to the dressing room. And yeah, we want to pick up where we left off because... there we go. I want you to pick up where you left off last time. Quality finishing. Control of midfield, and expecting to see solid defensive work out there. And, well, at least Trupe is motivated. That's not a bad thing. It's funny, actually, when you talk about all this extra wage budget I have, it's difficult to think about who I need to bring in. But when you look at the squad, left wing's an opportunity, because I know Zeknini, he's doing all right, but he's not as consistent as I would like. And to be honest with you, my fullbacks, or now wingbacks, aren't as skilled as they could be. So, anyway, nevertheless, we're doing all right at the moment, so that's not too bad. We're not obviously a championship winning side, or indeed possibly even a cup winning side, but we are capable of putting half decent performances on. So anyway, all of that is done. Let us get into the match. Twente in the red kit, Zwolle in the blue. And we will watch the full match to start with. Zwolle kick-off. Zwolle currently in control. Simak, tackled there. Trupe Espinosa on a run forward. Looking for players. There we go. Finds Verdonk. Verdonk has been enjoying the wing-back on attack role, and he's forced a corner. We are 30 seconds in. Abojania to take it. Aims for the farm post, but Wayne Dant does not get on the end of that. But they've put it out for a throw. So let's see how we get on. Trupe. Wayne Dant, what the heck? Wayne Dant tries to cross that one, and it stopped against the corner post. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Anyway, ball is still with Zwolle. And they've just given away another corner. We look like we're dominating them at their end. Well, after this corner, we'll Verdonk tries to get into the middle. Espinosa picks up the loose ball. Busquets. Espinosa tries to find Verdonk's there, but no. Zwolle are on a counter-attack. Simek now gets past one man, but he doesn't get past Trupe. Throw in. Paul de Clement. Ooh. It's gone out for a throw in. You know what? I'm going to go key highlights because we've been looking alright. Although it says we've not managed any shots or anything on target. So let's get creative. You know what? I might even go positive. I didn't actually bother to check out who are favourites for this. I think we are. Let's try to demand more. I don't like that Wayne Dant is complacent and his performance is dropping slightly. Oh God, so is everybody else's. With 30 odd minutes in and we're not getting highlights. Let's go pressing. I'm going to have a look at how that looks too on full match because... Oh, Busquets out wide to Trupe. Trupe back to Busquets. Looks like we've been keeping possession. Come on, Espinosa. Let's try something a bit more forward thinking. Cantella Piedra with a goal! Lovely, lovely shot. Little bit of shimmy in the box. And that's a left-footed effort, I'm sure, but that's his 4th goal of the season. FC 21. PEC Zwolle, 0. Buskis puts it over. Cantella Piedra cuts in. Left foot into that top corner. Nicely done, sir. I may as well go back to key highlights at this point, because that's how it's supposed to look. Zwolle. Ooh, nearly got tackled there. Yeah, don't like that Wayne Dant is complacent. Oops, that's not what I meant to press. I want to tell him to show some passion. Instead of look at that, half time. We've not had many highlights this game, have we? 9 shots, 5 on target, so they're 2 and 0. But we've only had 39% of possession. And there's me saying, oh, we're right for possession. No, but we are 1-0 up, so that's good. We're obviously smash and grabbing a wee bit. But I'll take it. Okay, to the dressing room. Dennis van der Ee encouraged the players, giving them a bit of a morale boost. Well, I will assertively say, I know you're capable of even better. I'm unhappy with how Wayne Dant's doing, but he is, like I say, he's upset because I haven't strengthened the squad, even though I have. I just happened to bring a lot of those players in before him, so he needs to get his arse out of his hand is really the point, but we'll see what happens. So, assertively, not happy with your performance. There we go, looks fired up. Yeah, again, look, defensively, not great. So, I'm not happy with you. Not happy with you. And I'm not happy with you. I did do nothing specific noted because you don't care, do you, Verdonk? That's why. Alright, we're going into the second half. I'm not making any subs just yet, though it's possible that I'm going to be taking off Wayne Dant if he doesn't, pick his game up, basically. So, it is an FC Twente kickoff. Seknini coming forward. Oh, dispossessed. Treasury. Abujania. Cantella Piedra coming in. Oh, he had a go, but that wasn't a great shot, was it? I might have even got it closer than that. I'm not saying I would have got it in, because I'm sure I wouldn't have done. Let's demand more. 12 shots, 5 on target thus far. And Wayne Dant's just... he's just dropping off. There's no point in waiting, is there? Bergreen is in. Let's hope he does a better job. Verdonk's picked his game up quite significantly, but Bregerie and Bayern not doing so well. What can we do? Yeah, let's bring on Salcedo. Do I want to bring off Bregerie, though? Yeah, I do. That's who I'm going to bring off, the captain. Okay. That's the first kick of the ball Salcedo's got, our 39-year-old centre-half. I'm going to regret this, aren't I? But it just goes to show, him being on the bench, he is still considered better than most of the centre-halves we had. Back to the match. Let's get creative. I know, we already did. Oh, corner. Verdonk to take it. Short one to Cantella Piedra. Finds Seknini, who puts it away. It's 2-0. FC 22. PEC Zwolle 0. Carlos Salcedo. Oh, I see. That's what happened. Seknini took the shot, but Salcedo got a touch on it, but it's been disallowed because he was about 3 billion miles offside. All right, well. Let's demand more. Come on, boys. Bergreen at least doing better than Wayne Dant did in terms of his average rating thus far. But we've yet to see any action from him. Show some passion, everybody. There we go, get fired up. Bayern's picked his game up. Salcedo's playing averagely, which is okay. Verdonk has definitely picked his game up, which is fantastic. And the midfield looked pretty solid. Corner again, Abujania to take it. Oh my goodness, it was under the head of the Bergreen, but looks like it hit the crossbar. Throw in for Twente. Troupe finds Bergreen again. Troupe looking for a cross. No. That's it. Full time. FC Twente. PEC Zwolle 0. Well, we looked dominant. I mean, we looked absolutely dominant when you look at this. That's 22 shots on, 9 on target, but only 45% of possession. So, again, that counter-attack was working better, I think, than keeping possession. Rico Strider did all right for them. Interesting mentals. I like the look of him. Yeah. Busquets with the player of the match again. He got the player of the match last time too. So yeah, FC 21. This is game 10. PEC Zwolle 0. I'm very happy with that. It says I cannot. Dennis van der Ree. I can't think of anything particular that needs addressing. I can tell you that we did well. It was a good win, and I'll take that. Okay, if we come back for a quick review, as you can see, we didn't do too badly, and we are now up to 4th. Just behind Utrecht, Ajax, and PSV. PSV, well, we're 1 point behind Utrecht and Ajax, which is shocking, really. But obviously, we're 3 points behind PSV, and both they and Ajax have a game in hand. So, yeah, it's surprising. It's more, I think, to do with how everybody else is doing, which if you look below Feyenoord, it's not looking great for most teams, but we've not done too badly. I wouldn't say this is a storming start, but it's not bad. Question is whether or not we can keep it up and sort of stay around that area. I don't know, but I'm very happy to be in 4th at the moment after winning 6 of my 10 games and only losing 1. Goal difference could be better, especially when you look at the teams around us. They are all in double digits, but we're in a positive place, so that's really, really important. Not sure when we're coming back next. Might be another 10 games. So, obviously, in the meantime, you now need to go check out Custard Profit and That Trucking Football Manager. Their videos will have dropped at the same time, so if you haven't already seen them, please do go watch them now. It's going to be interesting to see how we get on. And later in the week, there will be a overview video from Custard for where we are after 10 games. And as I say, if you haven't watched the first overview we did from the first 3 games, please do go watch it. It's an excellent video and really good review of how all 3 of us are doing. Plus the AI, of course. So, yeah, please do go watch that. In the meantime, I'm avoiding relegation. This has been Versus 3. I'll see you on the next episode.